Spent the better part of the last 2 to 3 days in Punta Gorda for activities related to diocesan convention. Each year we ask that one of the delegates, or all of them if they wish, present at each of the services regarding diocesan convention, so you can have a bit of a taste of what it was like to be there. Before I introduce the speaker for today, I'm going to go ahead and do this because everybody is asking. Stand up. Okay. Mother Susie and I got these at diocesan convention, and their stoles may. That's the most colorful thing we got it. But the stoles are made by women in Peru, by a group called Threads of Hope. And when you buy something that they make, all the money goes back to the women in Peru. But what you may want to know, and if you come up to us, you can kind of try to figure it out yourself. It's a series of scenes, and each scene is a story from Jesus' life. And this is the announcement of Jesus, and this is the resurrection of Jesus. And each is a story. So everyone's been asking about them, so I thought I would just go ahead and get that out of the way. And it's not that we don't want to talk about them anymore. You're welcome to ask us about them and look at them, but we just wanted you to know about that. This morning, Joe Molino, who is a delegate to convention, was a delegate to convention, who is also your senior warden of the vestry, is here to give his presentation to you about diocesan convention. Joe.
Good morning. I want to start by saying I, along with Bob Earl, Paula Paquette, and Margot Ferrara, we're proud to represent Iona-Hope Episcopal Church, along with Father Ray and Mother Susie, at the Episcopal Diocese of Southwest Florida's 50th Annual Convention on October 12th and 13th in Punta Gorda, Florida. In honor of the 50th anniversary, the Most Reverend Michael Bruce Curry, presiding bishop and primate of the Episcopal Church, was our guest speaker at the plenary session on Friday, October the 12th. The theme of his discussion centered around the revitalization of the Jesus movement. And the Jesus movement was an evangelical Christian movement beginning on the west coast of the United States in the late 1960s and early 1970s, and spread primarily throughout North America, Europe, and Central America before subsiding in the late 1980s. Members of the movement were called Jesus people. Its predecessor, the Charismatic movement, had already begun in full swing for about a decade. It involved mainland Protestants and Roman Catholics who testified to the supernatural experiences similar to those recorded in the Acts of the Apostles, especially speaking in tongues. Both of these movements led that they were calling the church back to a closer biblical picture of Christianity in which the gifts of the Spirit would be restored to the church. Bishop Curry sees a resurgence in the Jesus movement occurring throughout the world, especially in the Episcopal Church. One of his quotes was, "Live in the way of the Lord, go back to our original origin. We can change the world if we follow the way of Jesus." Bishop Curry asked, "What is the opposite of love?" And I'm sure many will say hate. But the true opposite of love is selfishness. We are all children of God, regardless of race, gender, or sexual orientation. Everyone must be treated as a child of God. If we truly want to bring peace to the world, we must love everyone and find our faith in understanding. Faith seeks understanding, and Jesus leads the way. On Friday, our Eucharistic service was the highlight of the convention. The Rite to service, led by Bishop Curry, included our vested priests, deacons, as well as leadership from across the diocese, and included 5 visiting bishops. A special diocesan choir led by Dwight Thomas of the Cathedral Church of St. Peter performed hymns selected for the gathered convention and included many Episcopal favorites. To say that this service was uplifting would not do justice. Again, the theme was, we can change the world if we follow the way of Jesus. And I got to say that Bishop Curry was so charismatic that he just had everybody there. There was over 1,500 people in attendance. And it was just awesome. And I just wish that every one of you could have been there to experience it. While the first day of the convention was spiritual, the second day centered around the diocesan business, starting with the Rite to morning prayers, followed by various reportings to the convention delegates and election of the standing committee members, both lay and clergy. It was announced that the Friday night offertory collection totaled $10,382 and was designated for the Episcopal Relief and Development and the Mary Ellen Smith Memorial Endowment Fund. For those of you who do not know, Mary Ellen Smith was Bishop Dabney Smith's first wife. I'm not going to bore you with figures from the business portion of the convention, but will just state that the Episcopal Diocese of Southwest Florida has a balanced budget for 2019 totaling $3,185,304, a slight decrease of $15,460 from the prior year's budget. In closing, all I can say is thank you for allowing me and the other 3 delegates, including Father Ray and Mother Susie, to represent you at the convention. It was truly an amazing event, which was also attended by many of the members of the congregation on Friday. Thank you.